Hi, my name is George Henshaw, and I'm here to talk to you today about the Keystone XL pipeline. I know we covered it in class, but I'm here today to give more details, more stats, more statistics, and in the end to tell you what I think about the project. Okay, so the proposal is an 875-mile pipeline that would start in Morgan, Montana, and end in Steel City, Nebraska. It would allow for 830,000 barrels per day of crude oil to be transported from the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin in Canada and the Belkland Shale Formation in the United States. It would allow the oil from there to be transported through the United States to the Gulf Coast, where it would then be sold on the open market. TransCanada, in order to build this, needs a permit from President Obama. He did say back in 2008 when he was running that he wouldn't allow the permit to go through, but we all know he doesn't really keep his promises. The southern leg of the pipeline was already built, and it connects Oklahoma to southeast Texas, the Gulf Coast. This is a politically dividing issue. We have politicians on both sides saying they're going to fight for it, and politicians on the other side saying they're going to fight against it. We're going to start with the positive impacts. Canadian tar sands are a massive North American source of energy. We don't have to go to unstable regions in the Middle East to get our oil. It's right here at home, and it's a stable source of energy. TransCanada says the project has the potential to reduce imports from Venezuela and the unstable Middle East by up to 40%. The project would support 42,100 jobs. Now, notice I said support. It's not, this includes direct, indirect, and induced jobs. Direct are the positions directly hired by TransCanada to build the pipeline. Induced and indirect are basically if one of those construction guys goes and buys a bagel at a local shop, that's a job that's technically supported by the pipeline. So as you can see, it's not exactly 42,000 jobs. TransCanada says there will be $134 million generated from state and local taxes by building the pipeline. The Canadian Energy Research Institute estimates that the production of Canada's oil sands will increase U.S. economic output by $45 billion per year until 2035, and that 1 out of every 3 jobs that deals with the tar sands in Canada will be hired in the United States. Now, here comes the negative impacts. Climate change. Canadian tar sands are one of the most dirtiest carbon-concentrated fossil fuels you can possibly think of burning. James Hansen, he's the head of NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, said about the prospect of the pipeline being built that if it gets built, it's essentially game over for the plant. It not only produces or shoots CO2 into the air by burning the fuel that's transported by it, but actually getting it out of the dirt is one of the most energy-intensive fossil fuel extractions out there. It takes 3 barrels of water to extract just 1 barrel of oil, and after the water is so polluted that you can't use it, you can't clean it, it has to be stored in a man-made lake. The route also goes through the environmentally sensitive Sandhills region of Nebraska, a place that really the environment needs to be left alone there. Okay, leaks and spills will also be a problem, as the southern half of the pipeline has already had to repair 125 dents and sags so far, and the pipeline's only been up for about a year. And as I said before, those jobs, those 42,100 jobs, only 2 years. 2 years, pipeline's built, jobs are gone. Okay, now what I think. I am one of those people who understand that the United States, in order to maintain our society, needs to burn fossil fuels. Some people would like to immediately switch over to wind and hydro. I understand that we can't do that. So I want to be supportive of the pipeline. But the pipeline is almost universally supported by avid climate deniers. I take pause when I realize I'm on the same side as people like Mitch McConnell and Jim Inhofe. Is this the best way to get fossil fuels in the United States? I don't know. Does the U.S. receive any other economic benefit from the pipeline other than the 42,000 jobs? As far as I can tell, it doesn't. We don't get a discount on the oil. It's just the jobs, pipeline built, jobs are gone. Perhaps if I was President Obama, I might ask a little bit more from TransCanada, since they're going to be making so much money off of this. If they had to get built, I would ask for a little bit more. TransCanada is set to lose, if the pipeline does not get built, $2 trillion. Are their facts, since they have so much invested in this, are their facts accurate? The U.S. will miss out on some jobs if the pipeline does not get built, but the damage to the environment will be so substantial that perhaps this is not a good project. Thank you. Oh, there are my sources. As you can see, I did use the Keystone pipeline website as a source, so it wasn't entirely one-sided. Thank you.